December 22, 2025. A Chinese AI startup just released a model that beats GPT-5. Gold medal performance on the International Mathematical Olympiad. 96% accuracy on advanced math tests, outscoring OpenAI's best model. And it's completely free to download. 4 months ago, the United States government tightened export controls to stop exactly this from happening. This week, the Trump administration reversed course and approved Nvidia selling advanced chips to China. Not because the export controls worked, because China already won without them. Here's what nobody in Washington wants to admit. America didn't lose the AI race because China built better technology. America lost because they never understood what game they were playing. January 27, 2025. DeepSeek R1 drops. A Chinese model matching OpenAI's reasoning capabilities, built for $6 million using chips the United States specifically banned from export. Nvidia loses $593 billion in market value in a single day. The biggest one-day loss in American corporate history. Wall Street panics. Silicon Valley scrambles. Washington holds emergency meetings about the failure of export controls. The entire American AI establishment had spent 2 years convinced that cutting China off from advanced chips would cripple their AI development. More compute equals better AI. That was the gospel. Limit their hardware access. You limit their capabilities. The strategy seemed ironclad. American companies would maintain dominance through superior chip access, while China fell further behind every quarter. Then DeepSeek released R1 using H800 chips, the deliberately weakened version Nvidia created to comply with export restrictions. The chips everyone said couldn't train competitive models. And it didn't just work. It matched OpenAI's O1 at 3.6% of the cost, 96.4% cheaper per token. Same performance, fraction of the price. Silicon Valley's response was predictable. Questions about DeepSeek's actual costs, skepticism about their claims. Analysis suggesting the real infrastructure investment was $1.6 billion, not $6 million. But here's what that analysis actually proved. Even at $1.6 billion total cost, DeepSeek spent maybe 2% of what American companies allocated to AI infrastructure in 2024. Meta committed $65 billion, Microsoft $80 billion, Google similar amounts. Whether DeepSeek's training cost $6 million or the total operation cost $1.6 billion doesn't matter. Both numbers prove the same thing. Efficiency beats scale. Then 11 months passed. The AI world moved on. DeepSeek became a footnote, a one-time fluke. China got lucky with algorithmic optimization, but surely couldn't sustain it against American capital and talent advantages. Silicon Valley returned to normal. Massive spending, proprietary models, chip hoarding. December 1, 2025. DeepSeek drops V3.2 and V3.2 Speciale, not incremental improvements, fundamental leaps. The Speciale variant scores 96% on AME 2025, the Advanced Mathematics Examination. GPT-5 scores 94.6. DeepSeek wins. 99.2% on the Harvard-MIT Mathematics Tournament. Gold medal performance at the 2025 International Mathematical Olympiad. Gold at the International Olympiad in Informatics. Second place at ICPC World Finals. These aren't benchmarks you game. These are competitions where the best human mathematicians and programmers compete. DeepSeek's AI just beat them, and it's open source. Free to download. Free to modify. Free to deploy. Anyone, anywhere can access capabilities that match or exceed America's most expensive proprietary models at 96% lower cost. Here's what that second release reveals. DeepSeek R1 wasn't luck, it was proof of concept. V3.2 is the production system. China didn't achieve one algorithmic breakthrough and hope it held. They built systematic advantages in cost efficiency, resource optimization, and open collaboration that American companies can't match because their entire business model runs opposite. The United States strategy was scale. Spend more, buy more chips, build bigger data centers, hire more researchers. The implicit assumption was that AI leadership requires the most capital. Whoever invests the most wins. China looked at that strategy and built something different. Algorithmic efficiency over brute force compute. Synthetic data generation instead of endless web scraping. Mixture of experts architecture activating only necessary parameters. Sparse attention mechanisms cutting computational complexity without losing performance. Every technique designed to achieve maximum capability with minimum resources. And it worked. DeepSeek V3.2 matches GPT-5 in reasoning benchmarks. Beats it in specific domains. Costs a fraction to run. Gets released as open source while American companies guard their models behind API paywalls charging 27 times more per token. The geopolitical implications are staggering. The United States designed export controls to prevent exactly this outcome. 2 years of policy built on the assumption that restricting chip access creates insurmountable barriers to AI development. China just proved that assumption catastrophically wrong. They built frontier models using restricted chips. Then they built better models. Then they open-sourced them. The export controls didn't slow China down. They forced China to innovate in ways that made American advantages irrelevant. And here's the part that reveals how badly American strategy failed. December 26, 2025. The Trump administration approves Nvidia selling advanced H20 chips to China. The same administration that months earlier tightened export controls after DeepSeek R won. They banned the chips. China won anyway using worse hardware. So now America's selling them better chips. Not because export controls achieved their goal. Because trying to maintain them became pointless once China demonstrated they don't need cutting-edge hardware to build cutting-edge AI. The entire strategic framework collapsed. You can't leverage chip access as geopolitical power when the other side proves they can match your results without your chips. The business implications are even more immediate. Meta just announced $60 to $65 billion in AI capital investment for 2025. Microsoft committed $80 billion. These commitments were made before DeepSeek V3.2, before China demonstrated that comparable results cost 98% less. American companies are now locked into spending tens of billions while competing against Chinese firms that spend millions. That's not a sustainable position. That's structural disadvantage. Your entire valuation is built on promises that massive AI investment generates massive returns. Admitting the spending was unnecessary collapses investor confidence. But continuing to spend billions while Chinese competitors spend millions guarantees you lose on cost efficiency. There's no good option. Both paths lead to the same place. Eroding margins and invalidated business models. This pattern repeats across every technology sector where China emerged as challenger. Solar panels. American companies innovated. China optimized manufacturing and cost. Solar became commoditized. American technological leadership became market irrelevance. Electric vehicles, same story. Battery technology, same outcome. Drones, identical pattern. American innovation. Chinese fast follower strategy. Scale production. Crush on cost. Dominate market share. At 2% of the cost. That AI required such immense capital and talent concentration that China couldn't simply copy and undercut. The computational requirements were too high, the expertise too specialized, the data moats too deep. DeepSeek just proved every assumption wrong. Twice. They didn't match American models, they exceeded them, and open-sourced the results so anyone globally can deploy the same capabilities. The national security establishment is scrambling. The entire deterrence strategy was built on maintaining AI superiority through chip access control. That strategy is dead. China has frontier AI, built despite export controls, improving faster than American models in specific domains. Available to anyone who wants to download it. You can't stuff this genie back in the bottle. The knowledge is out. The techniques are published. The competitive advantage evaporated. And the market knows it. Nvidia recovered from that initial $593 billion loss because investors realized efficiency doesn't kill demand, it expands it. Cheaper AI means more AI usage, more applications, more deployment. Classic Jevons paradox. But here's what that misses. The demand increase happens globally. And China now provides frontier capabilities at 96% cost advantage. DeepSeek models are open source. Any company anywhere can download them. Modify them, deploy them. Why pay OpenAI 27 times more per token when DeepSeek provides equivalent performance for free? The honest answer to why China beat America at AI is that America optimized for the wrong variables. Silicon Valley chased valuations and headlines. Capital raised. Data center announcements. Chip acquisition. Every metric designed to signal scale and dominance. China optimized for results and efficiency. Cost per training run. Performance per dollar. Accessibility through open source. Capabilities despite constraints. American companies told investors that AGI requires hundreds of billions in infrastructure spending. China demonstrated that frontier AI requires smart engineering and resource optimization. American firms built business models around proprietary moats and premium pricing. China built open source models anyone can use for free. American strategy assumed compute access determined winners. China proved algorithmic innovation matters more. The Trump administration's reversal on chip sales captures the entire failure. You spend 2 years building export controls to prevent China from accessing advanced chips. China builds frontier AI anyway using worse chips. So you abandon the controls and sell them better chips. Not because your strategy succeeded, because your strategy became irrelevant once they won without it. This is the Sputnik moment everyone's been discussing. Not because one Chinese model is good. Because American strategic assumptions about AI competition were fundamentally wrong. Export controls don't work when efficiency beats scale. Capital expenditure doesn't guarantee leadership when algorithmic innovation matters more. Proprietary advantages evaporate when open-source competitors match performance at 2% of the cost. When DeepSeek V3.2 Speciale scored 96% on AME 2025, beating GPT-5's 94.6, that wasn't just a benchmark victory. That was proof that China's approach works better than America's. When they open-source those capabilities for free while OpenAI charges $15 per million tokens, that wasn't generosity. That was strategic positioning. Commoditize American advantages. Make expensive proprietary models obsolete. Shift competition to terrain where Chinese efficiency dominates. And it's working. American AI companies are trapped. They've told investors that massive spending leads to massive returns. They can't pivot to efficiency without admitting the spending was wasteful. But they can't maintain current burn rates while competing against Chinese firms that achieve the same results at 2% of cost. The music is stopping. And American companies are holding $80 billion infrastructure commitments in a market that just proved you don't need them. The question isn't whether DeepSeek really cost $6 million or $1.6 billion to build. The question is what happens to American tech valuations when the market realizes Chinese competitors achieve frontier AI at 98% lower cost. When open-source models match proprietary performance. When export controls fail to prevent the exact outcome they were designed to stop. So far, the answer is American policymakers approve selling China the advanced chips they originally banned. American companies announce even larger spending commitments despite Chinese competitors proving you don't need them. American investors pretend the valuations still make sense, even though the assumptions supporting them collapsed. China didn't beat America by building better AI. China beat America by making American advantages irrelevant. Chip access doesn't matter when algorithmic efficiency eliminates the chip advantage. Capital spending doesn't guarantee leadership when resource optimization achieves more with less. Proprietary models don't command premium pricing when open-source alternatives match performance for free. America just realized they lost the race after it was already over.